So, you want to buy a 7-Eleven. You drive past one every day. Probably more than one. Fluorescent lights, a Slurpee machine, someone buying cigarettes and a lottery ticket at 2 in the morning. It looks like the simplest business on earth. Buy stuff cheap, sell it for more, repeat forever. So, let's get you one. The first number that gets thrown around is the franchise fee, anywhere from $0 to over $1 million, depending on the location. Total investment can land somewhere between $140,000 and $1.6 million. That's a wide range. Suspiciously wide. And here's the part that should make you sit up. You don't actually buy the store. Here's the contradiction that breaks the entire fantasy. In most franchises, you pay for the building, the equipment, the inventory, and you keep what you earn minus a small royalty. Usually around 5 to 8% of sales. That's the model everyone assumes when they hear the word franchise. 7-Eleven doesn't do that. 7-Eleven provides the store, the equipment, the inventory financing, often the real estate too, and in return, they take roughly 50 to 52% of your gross profit every single week. Not 5% of sales, half of your profit every week, forever. Read that again, because that's the entire business model in one sentence. Let's make this concrete. Say your store does $100,000 in monthly sales. Cost of goods eats $60,000 of that. That leaves $40,000 in gross profit. Under this structure, around half of that goes straight to corporate, roughly $20,000. Before you've paid a single employee, before rent, before electricity, before the freezer that's been making that noise since March, you're left operating on the remaining $20,000. And from that comes labor, utilities, insurance, repairs, and if you finance the purchase, debt payments. The store made $100,000. You haven't seen most of it. You may never see most of it. So why would anyone sign up for this? Here's the deeper truth. The company provides a ready-to-run store. Building, equipment, inventory, all in place. You hit the ground running. You're not buying a business, you're buying a job, a demanding one. With a massive support system attached, where the company providing that support is also your landlord, your supplier, your accountant, and your business partner. All at once. All taking a cut. The 50% isn't really a royalty. It's rent. Rent on the building, rent on the brand, rent on the supplier relationships built over nearly a century. You're not the owner. You're the night manager carrying the financial risk. And the risk is real. Because of one detail almost nobody mentions until they're already in. The split is permanent. In most businesses, if you get better, tighter inventory, less waste, smarter staffing, your margins improve and you keep the improvement. Here, if you get better, your profit goes up. And the company gets half of that increase too. Automatically. Forever. There's no version of this where you graduate to a better deal, and the only half you fully control still has to cover labor in a business that often runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Many new owners end up working the overnight shift themselves just to make the math work in year one. Here's the hidden incentive, and it's the one that explains why this model has lasted nearly a century. This isn't really a convenience store business, not from the top. It's a real estate and supply chain business, and the stores are just the retail front end of both. The company owns the building in many cases. It controls the inventory and the supplier deals. Every item sold across thousands of locations runs through terms the franchisee has almost no power to change. The franchisee absorbs the labor, the overnight shifts, the shrinkage, the chaos at the counter. Corporate absorbs none of that, while still collecting half the profit. So, here's the honest answer. You don't want to buy a 7-Eleven the way you'd buy a Subway or a UPS store. This isn't an investment where you put up money, hire a manager, and check in once a month. What you're actually signing up for is a high-intensity, low-margin operations job with a silent partner who takes half of everything in exchange for handling the supply chain, the branding, and the real estate so you don't have to. For someone who genuinely likes the grind, inventory, scheduling, watching the numbers every day, it can work. For someone looking for passive income from a recognizable name, it's one of the most mismatched expectations in franchising. And here's one more thing worth sitting with. That number, 50%. It's been the same for decades, across thousands of stores, through inflation, through recessions, through the rise of dollar stores eating into convenience retail. Everything around it changed. The split never did. That's not an accident, that's the business.